Hi friends! I'm so happy you're here with me practicing pencil calligraphy. And before we begin, I want to make sure that you have the printout ready and also a pad of paper as cushion. So when you're writing with pencil, it will be easier to produce the thick strokes. And I'm just using a notepad as my cushion. You can also just have a stack of papers underneath. I'm going to demonstrate in different pencils I have. So we have a mechanical pencil here. I have a very dark lead. This is a 6B, but most of the time I write just with an HB. I'm also going to use a color pencil so it will show better on the camera. And with these guide sheets, the grid underneath is going to help you develop a consistent spacing and the slant, so we can just focusing making a consistent stroke width. So by applying pressure, we will make those thick strokes, and then by applying less pressure as we write, we will make these thin upstrokes. So here I also have a pencil sharpener around, so I can just keep on sharpening as I go. And the way we produce thick line is just to apply pressure as you're writing. So you do not need to change the way, the angle that you're holding. But unless if you're holding your pencil very straight up and down, I think most people hold pencil in more like a 45 to 50 degree to the paper, to the writing surface. So that should be fine. And you just need to apply pressure as you write. You do not need to change the way you hold pencil, or you do not need to change the way your angle is. And I want you to write slower than you normally would. You want to have a definite beginning and a definite end as you write this straight line. It will help you tremendously if you develop a rhythm as you write. So if you can count if you count some sort of beat as you write, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not sure if your rhythm is correct or if your beat is on beat, I have a very loud clock in my room, so I can just listen to the tick tock, tick tock. And then same thing with all the strokes, you want to have a consistent speed. Another thing would help with your rhythm is to put on some classical music. If you search for music, classical music for reading, classical music for studying, usually you get like Mozart, Handel, those are nice and soothing and music to write. That will help you with your rhythm. So the thick and thin is by relative. You want to, depend on the pen you're using. So if I'm using a mechanical pencil, a thick line and a thin line, a thick line and a thin line. You want to be able to differentiate the thick and the thin. So now with the rest of the worksheet, we're going to combine the thick and the thin. So the transition happens in like this quarter from thick to thin. And it will also help to say it out loud. Downstroke thick, upstroke thin, downstroke thick, upstroke thin. And then moving on to the overturn, you will start with a light, thin upstroke and then slowly apply pressure. So when you're applying pressure, you're not increasing the speed you're writing. So it's kind of two different things when you write with pressure and write fast is two separate things. And here we only want the pressure. And now moving on, and with the compound curve, this is probably the trickiest one. So a rhythm and slowly applying pressure, but it's such a short distance, so slowing down will really help. Upstroke thin, downstroke thick, upstroke thin. Now with these ascenders, we're still going to say it out loud. Upstroke thin, downstroke thick, upstroke thin, downstroke thick. Notice that I'm not writing fast, or when I count down with a thick stroke, I'm not speeding up. And then with the descender, you want to have a steady start, and then slow, and then release pressure, make a turn. Downstroke thick, upstroke thin, downstroke thick, upstroke thin. Now moving on with the O shape. So if I start on the very top of the O shape, I might end up having a pointy top. So I start on the side, and then downstroke thick, upstroke thin, thin, thick, thin. Okay, let me write down the new one so you can see. Thin, thick, thin, thin, thick, thin. So here is the basic practice, and the key point is to first develop a consistent thick strokes by practicing the top row, and a consistent upstroke with the second and third. Make sure you have these right before you move on to the rest of it, and incorporate a rhythm into it, either by counting or just by saying in the steady speed of downstroke thick, upstroke thin as you're saying it, and or listening to music. So print out several copies of the basic strokes and really get a consistency of these basic strokes. It will help you tremendously tomorrow when we start the alphabet.